Hello everyone, how are you? I hope everybody's well. It's a pretty dark and gloomy day here in Southern California, so this video may be a little bit grainy by the time we watch it. So before I get started, I wanted to just briefly mention, I just got my advanced copy of the Machine Head's new album, Onto the Locust. I've been rocking the bejesus out of that thing all morning, and it is absolutely just killer. I don't know if, obviously a lot of you share the same type of taste in music, and some of you may not, but, I felt Machine Head's last album, The Blackening, was pretty epic. I've only listened through the new album twice, so I can't say whether it's better or worse than The Blackening, but I tell you what, it's got the brutal, in-your-face, kick you in the guts kind of a brutality associated with the typical Machine Head tune, and it's got that, harmonized dual guitar attack, and just things sound really epic, just really like it. And they have a cover version of song Sentinel from Judas Priest. Whew! I love their cover of a Battery, and the Iron Maiden song, something about die shall. God damn it, why can't I remember the name? But anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. So the Machine Head, the new album, wow, good stuff. And I also wanted to share with you, a couple of days ago I went to Cinderella concert right here locally, and a lot of you younger generation folks may not know, but back in the 80s, man, Cinderella, and it was good stuff. And just me being a gear whore, I was sitting 4 feet away from the stage, and they just kept trucking out Les Paul after another Les Paul, full-on Marshall stack. It was just a good times. All the women in the crowd were just going crazy for the for Tom, the lead singer, and the rhythm guitar. But really talented man, no matter what. So alright, so let's get started with this guitar here. Enough about me babbling. Oh, also, by the way, thank you everyone for adding me on the Facebook. So, if you haven't watched my last video, please go friend me on facebook.com/guitargearguy, so I'm not so lonely over there. So here we go. This guitar here, just like I showed you on my last preview, let's not kid ourselves. We know what this guitar tries to look like. So since I didn't show you the photographs in the beginning, I'm going to show you a little up close and personal. There you go, LTD Deluxe. Got the binding all around. Ebony fretboard. EMG 8185, more on that later. Carved mahogany top, gold hardware, Tone Pro hardware here so the stuff doesn't fall off as you're working on. Really thick body, we got binding, and got your ESP neck. Sharp looking guitar, make no mistake about it. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, so Eclipse 1000T stands for traditional, CTM stands for custom. So, this looks awful a lot like the Gibson Les Paul Custom. All black, white binding, gold hardware, great. Guitar obviously plays great, you know, craftsmanship, absolutely epic, just really well made. I can't tell you whether it's got the, you know, like a long tenon, a neck tenon, or anything like that. That I don't know. However, you know, the fit and finish, you know, the way everything comes together is just really, really well put together. And you can get this guitar as low as $650 online if you look hard enough, brand new. So you are getting a lot of guitar for the money that you would spend. But check this out though. So as much as I love this guitar, and you know, a lot of you that watch my videos all the time, you know I am like an ESP whore, right? I love ESP guitars, the way they do it and the way they make their LTD brands without having to, you know, sacrifice or compromise so much of the quality. So I really love their guitars, but I have a beef with this particular model. So when you say traditional, if they're going to designate the name traditional, I'm kind of hoping the guitar would be more, you know, in line with the Gibson's traditional Les Paul. Because, you know, they put out a lot of other Eclipses, right? They have the ones that have thinner body with the carved contour right here so it doesn't dig into your rib cage. And it's much lighter, the thinner neck. I mean, so it's a pure metal machine. And, you know, I myself have an Eclipse 500 from years ago. And, you know, it's really comfortable, it's light and everything, it's great. So when I picked this up, I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be, you know, that it would be traditional custom as they designate the name, right? Well, set aside from the fact that it's using EMG 81 and 85, which I could have done with that, right? If I'm going to get a pure metal machine like the other Eclipse models, or you know, the other guitars that they make out for, you know, like metal guitars that need a lot of clarity coming from the active pickups or whatnot. And I don't want to say the active pickups are only for metal, because they're not. But you know, I'm kind of, you know, something a little bit more less output perhaps would have been better fit in my opinion. Also, if you're going to call it traditional, I want to see a maple top. You know, no matter how thin or thick that is. So if you get their LTD Eclipse 1000T, not the CTM, not the custom, just the T, then you do get the flame maple top, right? If you get a 1000 Eclipse 1000 FM flame maple, you also get the flame top. If you get Eclipse 1000 QM quilted maple, you also get the flame top. So that's a little bit of beef that I have with this guitar. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this guitar. I just have a problem with the fact that the guitar is led to believe that it's a certain type of guitar, yet it kind of deviates from that. Maybe they did that on purpose, that I don't know. But as far as the guitar itself is concerned, I tell you what, you're looking for like a Les Paul alternative at a lower price point, you can't beat this. Because this guitar, like I said earlier, you can find one as low as $650. If you pay $650 on a Gibson Les Paul, you're getting the kind of lower end. You're getting like a melody maker with the one pickup, or the you know, the studio, the faded cherry kind of finish, no bindings. I mean, and that guitar would be all mahogany, just like this. Or you would get somewhat of a higher end Epiphone Les Paul, right? And so that's like a hit and miss if you ask me. So, and you know, there are other alternatives at this price point, you know, Les Paul copies or inspired by, or that kind of guitars from various manufacturers. But when it comes right down to it, I'm you know, I'm willing to bet that the quality of those other guitars at this price point, you know, overall, just the way they put together, it's going to be kind of hard to beat. So, guitar itself, no beef about it yet. I just have that minor gripe. Other than that, I mean, it's really, really a well put together guitar. You got your, you know, the locking tuner, so you don't have to wind the peg, you know, 3,000 million times to get it to catch on. And the neck is, you know, their ESP neck. It's not it's kind of flat towards the middle of the neck, so it's not like round. So that's kind of cool. And you know, the inlay looks good. And you know what? You know, obviously ESP, they do the flag, the headstock as well as the inlays. But if they were gonna do custom, I would have liked to see personally somewhat of a block inlay. Obviously they can't just blatantly copy everything like the Les Paul Custom, but something that looks a little bit closer, right? But then again, they did away with the maple top, so, you know, whatever. But just like the Les Paul, like it wants to be, it has 22 frets. You get their other Eclipse that have a longer scale neck, and you would get 24 frets. But both the 1000T and 1000T CTM give you 22 frets. So that's about it. Right now it looks really good with the gold parts all shiny, but you know, over the years this will oxidize and it's gonna look a little beaten up, and I'm not sure how that's gonna all go. Unlike some of the other well done ESPs, the battery cover, you do need screws to get in there. So that's it's not that big of a deal. But the way the binding is done, really sharp. Looks like 5-ply, if I'm not mistaken. So that's that. And you know, this is how a guitar should be built. Set aside from the whole name designation or whatnot. I mean, it's just thick. It feels chunky, really nice. Feel good to hold it in your hand, and just real joy to play, right? And so, you know, if you can only buy one guitar and you're looking for somewhat of a more cost-effective alternative to Les Paul, you know, not going to be able to beat this easily. So there you go, and that was my quick, I don't want to call it a review, but that was our quick chat about the ESP LTD Eclipse 1000T CTM. Leave comments, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, please, if you like. Go join me on the Facebook so we can chat away. I've already been chatting with a lot of people, and I quite enjoy talking about this stuff, as if you couldn't tell. Anyhow, so that pretty much does it for this episode, and I will check in with you guys again later. Until next time, you guys take care.